Hello friends and welcome to our Wednesday night live dip nail party. Tonight I am very excited to walk you through a step-by-step tutorial for doing a scrub ombre. So if you are newer to dip powder and you are looking for a slightly easier way to get an ombre effect, this is how we're going to do it. I'm not gonna lie, I actually messed this up the first time I tried, thinking that it was going to be easy, and it didn't work out, and I was like, this is hot garbage. However, what I didn't know is that I was doing it wrong, which is, usually the case, user error. So tonight I'm gonna show you guys how to do the scrub ombre. I do have a tutorial for this already on my YouTube channel, but doing a live is a little bit more fun because at least you get the opportunity to ask questions. So, without further ado, I'm going to start going through all the products we're going to be using tonight. If you want to just quickly jump in, you want to see which products I'm using, or you want to know where to find them, I have shared them in the caption below this video, so definitely check that out. But I think first I should show you what it is we're doing tonight. So here is a little look at tonight's look, which is this scrub ombre with these vibrant summer colors. I love this mix. Love, love, love. These are two of my favorite summer colors from Rebel Nail, their dip powder collection. So the corally color is Ola, and the lighter pink color is Rhea. Rhea is she's a classic favorite of mine. I love her. I love, love, love her. She came in my very first ever dip powder starter kit. I started with the Pretty in Pink set from Rebel Nail, and Rhea came in her, and I just love her. So also she ombres really, really nicely over Ola for a nice summer look. So I'm very excited about this. Hello, friends who are all joining. Hello, Courtney. You're the first one here. This is great. All right, so that's what we are going to be doing tonight. And then as far as products go, like I said, everything is shared in the caption below. I will be using Sparkle & Co. dip liquids. I find that these work really well for the scrub ombre, so I'm going to be using those tonight. And as I said, my colors of the evening are Ola by Rebel Nail and also Rhea by Rebel Nail. Now, I mentioned that I screwed up my scrub ombre the first time I ever tried, and it was because I didn't know that you should finish it off by scrubbing on a clear powder. So I'm also going to be using Vivian by Rebel Nail as well for this look. And then of course I've got my little scrub brush. I picked this up just from Walmart. However, if you want to grab it online, I do have it shared in the caption below as well. Okay, Courtney, you're one step there. If you've already got Rhea, hello, Kayla. It is good to see you. All right, friends, let's get into it. So, for those of you who usually watch me, you know that I usually follow my TikTok application method, doing a full dip, half dip, 3/4 dip, full dip. Because we're doing a scrub ombre, I'm actually going to adjust the order that we're going to apply the layers in because we're doing the scrub. So, I'll show you guys how to do that tonight. Debbie is here. Hello, my friend. So, for the first layer, we're going to actually start with the half dip, then we're going to do the 3/4 dip, and then we're going to go into the full dip. When we do that, we are going to then start doing the scrub method. So, it'll make sense why I rejig the order when you see kind of how we do the scrub. But yeah, we are also going to do 5 full layers with this. And the reason we have to do 5 layers is because we need to encapsulate everything with a clear powder. Otherwise, you're going to end up scrubbing away this beautiful ombre that we worked so hard on. So there we go. All right, friends, how was everybody's week? I hope everybody's summer is going well. I am clearly tired. Jeez, that was brutal. I promise I'm going to do my best to stay awake. All right, so for my first layer, I am going to be doing that half dip, switching things up a little bit. So the first thing we are going to do is start our brush just below the halfway point, push up to halfway, pull forward, and paint that bottom half of the nail, like so. And then I'm going to just cap those edges as I like to do on those half dips. And we are going to dip into Ola first. And then I'm going to continue that process. Now, the other thing is you want to be careful about how much liquid you add to the brush. So I just like to grab the brush here and then rub the front and the sides. And then usually what is left is a good amount for me to then go apply to the nail. halfway and then paint the bottom half. Like so. And we're just going to keep on cruising for each nail. Do 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 do. I'm very excited. Who is going to go and try a scrub ombre after this? Hopefully a few of you. All right. So the reason we're doing these half layers is to build up that apex on the nail. The reason we want an apex is that it adds just a little bit of strength to the nail to help our manicure last longer, which is always appreciated when we do these nail art looks that take us a little bit longer than just your standard manicure. Not that you want your average manicure to fall off either, but you know. What's going on there? All right. Ooh, Debbie gonna do a scrub manicure, hopefully. Hello, Selena. It is good to see you. I can't remember. Debbie, did you try the scrub before? Courtney, I know that we always talk about the glitter ombre, but how were you with the scrub ombre? Did you try it? I don't. My memory is bad. I'm trying to remember. All right, friends, so this is where we're at right now. I'm going to brush off that excess powder. Then we're going to go into dip number 2. Courtney says scrub method is very easy. I agree, my friend. I agree. So you have tried it before. Perfect. I was trying to remember. All right, guys. Now we're going to do our third dip this time. So starting the brush, this time we're going to go 3/4 of the way up the nail. So we're going to start the brush at the halfway point, go up to 3/4, pull forward, and paint that bottom 3/4 of the nail. Still not quite getting into our scrub. We're going to do that on the next layer. All right, Debbie, so we're going to do a scrub ombre next. Hello, Nadia. It's great to see you. All right, so we're just continuing again, painting each finger 3/4 of the way up. You can see I've got some bare spots from that first dip. That is a-okay, because those are all going to get filled in. You'll never even know it by the time we're done. That is the magic of trusting the process. All right, so we're almost done the second layer. And then after we're finished this layer, we're going to get to the good stuff, which involves the scrubbing, which is the fun part. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Courtney. Thank you, Selena. I appreciate that. All right, friends, there we are after dip number 2. So we've got our little apex layers done. So now what we are going to do is we are going to get into the scrub. So you want to get your second color handy. Now, I highly recommend when you're doing a scrub ombre that you scrub in the darker color of the two. So Rhea is more pigmented than Ola, so it is going to scrub really nicely over top. So we're going to get this ready. And I'm also going to grab my little scrub brush here to use. Me too, Debbie. Rhea is like, I love her. I love her so much. She's so good. Okay, so then we're going to brush all the excess powder off from that last dip. Like so. All right, so we are going to do a full layer this time. So we're going to start our brush. There we go. In the middle of the nail, we're going to push up to that cuticle area. We're going to pull forward, and then we're going to swoop the sides to get a nice clean cuticle line. And then we're going to dip the nail fully in. We're going to lightly tap off. We want to leave some of it on there for this. And then I'm going to take my trusty toothpick and we're going to cheat our cuticle line just a little bit. And we're just going to run that toothpick along the cuticle line just to clean up any little imperfections we might have run into. Then I'm going to let that dry for a few moments. The brush is definitely key, Courtney. I agree. All right, so then we're going to take Rhea, our darker color, and I'm going to use this little end here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly dip this in, and I'm going to scrub it lightly into Ola. Now this layer is not going to pop as much, but you'll see that we're going to add on to it and it's going to be okay. Now I don't want it to be a really aggressive ombre all the way up. I really want it to be a nice gradual blend, if you will. So I'm going to only put a little bit of this, and I'm just going to lightly brush. I'm not using a lot of pressure for this here right now. I'm just lightly brushing it in. I'm going to scrub harder here because that's where I want most of the color. So scrub hard here and then lightly kind of brush in the top. Okay. And then when we brush off that layer, we can kind of see what we got going on here. So this is again going to darken a little bit as we add on that next layer. So our next layer is going to be clear, and that's where we're really going to see this brush and pop. So now I'm just going to continue this on each finger. I'm not going to dip in the wrong color, or that is going to be an absolute disaster. It could not be worse. There's no way for me to fix that. So let's make sure we're dipping in the right color here. Starting our brush middle of the nail again, pushing back up to that cuticle line area, pulling forward, swooping the sides, like so. Then dipping into Ola, our lighter color, tapping off most of it, grabbing our toothpick, doing a little swoop of that toothpick, or sorry, that cuticle line, like so. Let that dry. Now, if you want while that's drying, if you want to speed things up, you can definitely do a couple nails at a time. So I'm going to let that dry while I do my middle finger here. Oop, I got a lot on the brush hanging out there. There we go. Okay. Well, Courtney, you're going to have to try it at the cuticle line next time, I guess. Something new. I was actually going to do it the reverse way, but then for some reason I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do it at the cuticle line today and have the dark color blend down. So here we are. Okay, so while my middle finger dries, I'm going to grab this. And again, grabbing that stubby little end of my brush, we're going to aggressively rub it here. And then lightly tap the top so we don't get too harsh of a line. All right, so we're done those fingers. Come on, camera, don't do this to me. Don't do it today. Not when we're doing a scrub ombre. It's enough out of you. All right, let's continue on. All right, going in for a full dip. And cuticle line. Oh, we lost my face. One moment. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. There we go. All right, and then while that ring finger dries, I'm just gonna do my pinky here. All right, so that finishes us up with Ola. Now I'm gonna grab Rhea again, and we're gonna scrub into, ooh, which thermals do you have, Courtney? That's a great way to get an ombre as well. All right, so again, we're just scrubbing it in harder at the cuticle line area, and then lightly running it up the nail just a little bit to bring that color up. So we can see we've got a light ombre going, not quite as dark as this hand, but we're gonna layer it. So now that we're all done that layer, we're gonna switch to use the clear dip powder. So the reason we finish with the clear is to really have that scrub pop, because these colors are going to scrub way better into a clear powder than they are going to scrub into any kind of pigmented color. So I'm going to grab Vivian by Revel Now, which is my clear powder here. Again, guys, all the products that I'm using today are shared in the caption below, so you can check them out anytime. And then this is going to be a full dip again. So grabbing my base liquid, we're going to paint the entire nail. Okay. And then we're going to dip into that clear. Grabbing our toothpick just to run along the cuticle lines. Then I'm going to just let that dry for a moment. Oh, Courtney, you got it all, girl. I love that. That's so fun. Great for when you can't decide. Just do them all. I like that. I like that approach. All right, so now that we've let that dry a little bit, again, we're going to dip into Rhea, and we're going to very aggressively brush into the cuticle line. You can see that color is grabbing on so much better than it did before. And then I'm just going to very lightly, again, brush it up the nail. Just a little bit, just to darken Ola, but we don't want to do as much as we did down here. Right? So we've got a nice gradual blend. That's what I like about the scrub technique, is you get a little bit more control over the blend. Sometimes doing the tap technique can leave you a little bit more prone to getting a really harsh ombre line, so it doesn't blend seamlessly. So this you get to play with a little bit more, which makes this method a little bit more beginner friendly. Like so. Debbie is like the queen of doing like the two-handed different manicures, so I imagine that's right up your alley, Debbie. And Courtney, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm all about this ombre. This is like my summer vibes. Summer vibes for sure. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to paint both my pointer finger, starting that brush middle of the nail, pushing up, pulling forward, swooping the sides. Dipping into that clear powder. I'm going to just trace that cuticle line. And while that dries, I'll move along to this finger here so that I can get two done at once. So let's scrub these ones. So again, just dipping in and then aggressively going across the cuticle area. And then more lightly blending it from the top. So let you guys watch like this here for a moment. So, and then same thing here. All right, I'm digging that. All right, last two fingers, my friends. And then all we have left to do is just encapsulate, buff these babies smooth, and that's it. Scrub ombres are where it is at. They are not very fussy. It's definitely the easiest way to get an ombre look with dip powder, that is for sure. But again, make sure that you do not skip the clear powder. The clear powder makes such a stinking difference. It is hot, Debbie. I agree. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, the final scrub. It's the final scrub ombre. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. We're getting her. I think that's really, there we go. I noticed a few weird spots. All right, and that's how you scrub, friends. Easy peasy. So all we need to do now is brush off all that excess powder from absolutely everywhere. And I'm going to encapsulate this. The reason I'm encapsulating in clear powder is to make sure that I do not buff away this design. If I buff directly over this, I'm gonna screw it all up. And then I will be sad, and then my fingers will not look very hot. So we are going to encapsulate. So just doing a quick layer here on each finger. And you can already see that ombre coming out. I'm very, very pleased. Very pleased. 10 out of 10 pleased. Didn't even take very long. We crushed it. The other nice thing about encapsulating this is Ola is one of those beautiful colors who likes to be a real bee. And what I mean by that is that she likes to buff the color away and leave little white spots. So by encapsulating her, you will not get said white spots. So that is nice. Very much appreciated. All right. The hard part is done, friends. We're on to buffing this baby out. So first thing I'm going to do, brush off all the excess powder that we just did to expose our handiwork. And then I'm going to grab my activator. So for those of you new to dip powder, this is the reason you do not need a UV light, because this handy little liquid is actually what cures everything for us. Oh, hello, Brandy. We got a little scrub ombre action going, which unfortunately we are done the scrub ombre part, but the good news is that once we finish this live, you can go back and watch the replay from start to finish. So that is nice. Done. Well, not done, but I need a buff. You know. All right, gonna grab my curved file. I like a curved file because a curved file allows you to get around the cuticle area without tearing the skin up. So I'm just going to go around and buff into the natural nail. And then I'm going to go down the sides. That doesn't look like it's dry yet. That's lovely. Lovely. That's fine. Let's add an extra insurance layer. So we'll let that dry a little longer. So we can start going around the sides. So I do all of my shaping prior to applying my dip powder, but you do have to go around the edges and just make sure everything is all nice and sharp. It looks nice. All right, I'm going to do a quick up close on this one. Make sure we are good. I don't want any weird thumb shapes. Perfect. Okay, we got the clickety clacking. we should be okay. Okay. Doesn't that shape look weird right now? Let's fix that. Sorry friends, 1 second. Let me just do it from a good angle for a moment. I am from Ontario, Canada. Where is everyone else joining us from? I know a few of you, but okay. Guys, just doing my up close here, quick for my shape, so I can see what is going on. There we go. All right. We're cruising, friends. We are cruising. Once we get this done, we will be all ready to top coat. Shape on this one looks pretty good. It looks good from my end, Brandy. New Hampshire isn't too many states away from me. That's northeast states, right? Well, obviously more east than I am, but you know. Okay, one quick up close so I can see, because I'm blind, so I need to do my nails like right here sometimes just to make sure everything up close looks okay, as I do. I think we're looking pretty snazzy. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my little orange buffer block and I am just going to buff the top of these bad boys, make sure that we've got no little lumps and bumps. All right. we are looking pretty good, friends. Pretty stinking good. Okay, let me do my quick little with the shape. I like to go both ways. I find if you look at it both ways, you can really tell if there is any issues with the shape and do any like little minor tweaking at the end. And I'm thinking that we are looking pretty dang good. I'm pleased. I am pleased. All right, let me grab my little water brush. Normally I would recommend that you go to a sink and just wash your hands just to get off all the dust, but I do not have access to that at the moment, so I'm just grabbing a slightly wet. It's not wet anymore. There we go. A little water from the water bottle will help. I'm resourceful, if nothing else. All right. Better. There we go. We're ready for top coat, my friends. So first of all, I'm going to grab our activator. You need the activator in order to get your top coat to cure. So we are going to apply a layer of that on the nail. And we can see again that ombre coming out. That looks amazing and so summery. I am pleased. And to help prevent your top coat from being contaminated, I'm just going to grab a lint-free wipe and I'm going to wipe away that excess activator. Now, it's going to depend on your brand, but normally you want to wait at least a minute before you go in with your top coat. You don't want to wait too long though, because again, you need that activator to cure your top coat. So what we are going to do is we're going to do 2 layers. So to help prevent contaminating that top coat, what I'm going to do is 3 very quick strokes for my first layer on the nail. So we are going to go 1, 2, 3 on each finger. And now I'm going to go in right away with the second layer, and this time I'm going to do a much nicer application. So I'm going to insert that brush in the middle of the nail, we're going to push back, and we're going to pull forward, and we're going to gently swoop the sides, making sure we get nice even coverage. And the other most important step is to make sure that we cap our edges to avoid chips. So just gently run that brush very lightly over your free edge. And then we're going to continue that on each finger to complete the look. Thank you, Debbie. I'm hoping that maybe we'll have matching ombres this week, maybe. That would be fun. Oh, Jana, but you're here. That's okay. At least there's the replay. I'm so glad you're here anyway. All right, that's it. That's all, my friends. We've done it. We've done a vibrant summer scrub ombre that is, I'm not going to say it's beginner friendly, because obviously you want to get the basics of dip powder out first, but if you're going to do nail art, I would say this is beginner friendly nail art that I love. Courtney's going for it. I cannot wait to hear what you come up with. Here we go, friends. I need some cuticle oil and then we will be good to go. I've got a bachelorette party this weekend, and it is, we're going to a drag show, and I feel like these colors are also perfect for that, so I'm very excited. Ooh, Jana. You and I are always twinning. You must have been my inspiration. Yeah, Courtney, it is like a peachy, orange, corally kind of color. It obviously darkens a bit when you use it, but that's the color there to give you an idea. Anywho, my friends, that's it. That's all. So we have. Why does my camera always do this to me? Come back. There we go. So we have another week or so left at this time, and then why? There we go. And then I'm going to be switching to a later time slot. It'll definitely happen in August. I'm just not entirely sure which week in July I'm making the switch. It depends on when I get all my stuff moved. But yeah, I am thinking we'll be starting these at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, so that'll give some people time to join us after dinner, and also for our friends over in Pacific Time, it won't be so early in the day for them. So hoping that'll help accommodate everybody okay. But again, I will send out an email and let you guys know and keep you in the loop. But other than that, I can't wait to see everybody's ombres. This is going to be great. Cool beans. Like I said, guys, all the products that I use today are down in the caption below. But other than that, I guess I will see everybody next week at our, most likely this time next week. I will send an email out. If you're not on the email list, of course, go to the caption below and you can sign up for the email alerts there. I always send out if there's a change to our live schedule, and I also send out alerts when I am going live. So definitely get yourself on the list if you're not already. And other than that, I hope everybody has a most wonderful evening. I hope the rest of your week is so good to you. I hope you have a very fun, relaxing weekend ahead of you. And I will see everybody next Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Bye, my friends. Have a very, very good evening. I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks, Courtney. Bye, Jana. Bye, friends. I will see you next week.